Yo, it's Chris Simms. I'm here with my main man, my homie, Jay Croucher from PointsBet. Always glad to have you, Jay. What's up, dude? How's everything going, man?
That's going good, Chris. Looking forward to getting into the slate. There's a lot happening in the NFL with the awards markets and the AFC as well. So looking forward to getting into it with you.
Good. All right, cool. Let's try to make some people some money here and get your expertise. Two things I want to hit on today. I mean, first off, AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then or not AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, excuse me. And we're going to talk about AFC number 1 seed. But first, 2 weeks ago, Rookie of the Year on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, it just looked like it was going to be Jamar Chase in a landslide. Things have changed, I expect, with the emergence of the New England Patriots back into the AFC playoff picture here, right?
They have. They've changed a lot. Now we've got Jamar Chase and Mac Jones as basically pick against each other to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and that's largely off of Mac Jones last week. Going 19 to 23, 3 touchdowns. That's going to help your numbers a lot. 142 QB rating. And Jamar Chase, his past 2 games haven't been that exceptional. And the thing about this award and really all awards is that people are going to wait to the quarterback. And if it's close,
right,
that positional value is going to be the tiebreak. We saw it last year with Herbert and Jefferson. And now, we think that, Mac Jones, a lot of his advanced numbers have him as good as Justin Herbert. Some of them have him better than Justin Herbert, even though he's not as flashy and he's not throwing as much.
Right.
Meanwhile, Jamar Chase isn't as good as Justin Jefferson was last year. And when you factor that in as well with, the Patriots, their surge, their record, they're much more likely to make the playoffs now than Cincinnati, which could be another tiebreak. So everything now is trending in Mac Jones's direction.
Man, it's crazy to think. I mean, do you think that the stats, because I can't imagine Mac Jones putting up tremendous stats. We know he's going to be efficient. He's going to make plays, going to make a few clutch throws. But do you think his lack of stacks might determine this at all, or is it just going to purely come down to kind of what you said, wins and losses?
It definitely matters, and the fact that he doesn't have those explosive passing stat numbers does work against him, whereas Jamar Chase has the eye-popping, yards numbers and touchdown numbers. I don't think Mac is going to get huge amounts of yards just because Belichick doesn't let him throw as much, although Belichick is kind of giving him the chef's hat a little bit more lately, letting him cook. But the thing with Mac is that he needs to get his touchdowns up. And if he can just be efficient and effective in the red zone and get those touchdown numbers up, get a really crisp TD to interception ratio, then I think that will do enough on the numbers case that can counteract Jamar Chase, who's going to probably have, at least positionally, kind of more impressive stats.
Right. It's really interesting. Like I said, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I'd have just been, it's a landslide. It's a slam dunk. It's Jamar Chase. He's had a phenomenal year. We know that. But I think what I come down to now, you ask me, at least just from the football standpoint, I look at Mac Jones and go, I think I'd take him as the leader right now. The way New England's playing, the way you laid it out. We know it's a quarterback-centric league, and especially when it comes to these type of awards, if you're on a winning team and you're the quarterback, yeah, it's a huge boost. I think New England, even though they got a pretty tough schedule here down the stretch, I think they're one of the more consistent teams in the AFC. And I think if you made me put money on it right now, I'd take Mac Jones. And the other factor I look into that, Jay, and you tell me this is, Jamar Chase, they play some tough defenses down the stretch. Just to read off a few, they got to play the Steelers again, of course. You got the 49ers, the Broncos, the Ravens. So there's some teams there where I could see him having some underwhelming stats, to say the least, a little bit.
Definitely. I think as well, when you just look at upside the rest of the season, Mac is getting progressively better every week. Belichick is giving him the car keys more, whereas Jamar Chase he's trending in the wrong direction the past couple of weeks. Like you said, really tough schedule to come. And then the other thing too is that Chase has been so dependent on these monster big plays down the field.
Right.
And if that's what your bread and butter is, that's just harder to sustain than, if you were, say, Cooper Kupp. But Cooper Kupp's just going to get his yards every week because he's so good at those underneath routes. Whereas Chase, if he's depending on these 60-yard passes, they're just not going to be there every week. And his game is more than that. And he's shown that, he can put up big numbers, regardless. But that's a big part of his portfolio. and that's going to be difficult for them to sustain.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that's the point right there. You're right. It's hard to sustain just big plays, big plays, big plays. There's not enough of 5 and 10 and 15-yard receptions in it. And listen, first topic today, I think we made some people some money. What we're basically saying is, Mac Jones looks pretty damn good, and we don't think it's going to get a whole lot worse there. So I like that for sure. All right, now let's go to another one. Not another one, but this one just up for grabs. The AFC is crazy, and this is, I don't know what to think of the AFC when it comes playoff times or anything like that, but the odds to be the AFC #1 seed, is it just a slam dunk? The Titans are the leader in the clubhouse on this discussion?
Yeah, this is a really weird one where Tennessee right now are heavy favorites to get the #1 seed, and we don't even think they're very good. But the fact that they've banked all of these wins, over really good opposition, they've racked up really important tiebreakers, particularly over Buffalo and Kansas City. And they've got the advantage now just in the race, and they have a really easy schedule to come as well, which is the main thing. And when I say I don't think they're very good, we think they're good. We think they're a very solid playoff team, but just not at the level of what their record indicates currently. I think it's really instructive that, from the betting side of things, they were only 3-point favorites at home against Trevor Siemian and the Saints last week. And home field these days is worth about 2 points. So we're saying they're about 1 point better than a Trevor Siemian New Orleans side, which, isn't the mark of, what you would typically consider to be a #1 seed in the AFC. So the Titans, they're in the driver's seat to get that first round bye. But, the fact that they are not as an elite team, as elite of a team as, AFC 1 seed would typically be,
right,
means that someone could sneak up on them.
Yeah, I could see it. Again, the Titans have been very consistent. They find a way to win games every week, but they've had some close calls. It's not always impressive. Again, you look at their schedule. It's not. I don't sit here and go, "Oh wow, it's like murderer's row" or anything like that. But there's still some tough games, and we know they have a little bit of a propensity to play close games. So yeah, I guess if I had a bet, I'd still go with the Titans, but I'm not comfortable with it either. Another one I want to ask you about, because I see Buffalo, who's all over the place. Can we show that graphic one more time, guys, please? Buffalo, I know Baltimore is one of those teams that's up there. They both scare me to a degree. They really do. And I'm going to go back to the evil empire one more time here and ask you about the New England Patriots, because that, to me, is the team that jumps off there again because of the way they're playing. Great defense, run the ball. Mac Jones takes care of the football. Do you see some value in maybe throwing some money on the New England Patriots when it comes to this conversation?
I think of the long shots, the Patriots are definitely the best play, just because their form right now, the fact that the offensive line is intact, the defense is getting better, Mac is getting better. And then the other thing for a market like this, the Patriots, they have a tough schedule down the stretch in that they play Buffalo twice and Tennessee. But in the context of this market, that's good, because it means they can knock those teams off. It means they can get those tie breaks. What I'm interested in is Bill Belichick and whether, he starts to get a bit more aggressive, because, he was the aggressive coach 10 years ago. And, one of the most famous plays in NFL regular season history is Belichick going for it on 4th and 2 at his own 28-yard line in Indianapolis against Peyton Manning, not getting it. And then ever since then, it seems like he's just gotten more conservative, and he's making decisions that, are on the more conservative side of things with 4th down calls. So I'm interested to see, because I think some of these games are going to come down to those type of calls, and whether Belichick has more trust in Mac, both in those moments and then just overall to start throwing the ball more and more. Because if they do throw the ball more, if they do get aggressive, that increases their ceiling and it increases their upside to do something like get the #1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, that would be an interesting angle to look at. I don't know. That's one where I don't know if he'll be totally aggressive with this team he has right here. I can understand it 10 years ago and because there's a lot of other factors that play into it. But, man, this New England one is interesting to me because, like you said, I look at it and go, I think it's a good thing they get to play the Titans and the Buffalo Bills twice. They got a chance to make up some big ground there. And I don't know. I just look at the Patriots, and I feel like we're watching a repeat in history. It's like the 2001 New England Patriots again. Defense, run the ball, not that sexy, not a lot of splash plays, but maybe a little more conservative, boring. We just win the games outright that way. But, man, I look at Tennessee. I don't trust Baltimore. It's all over the place, as we saw last Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo, a little bit all over the place. I think it's too Josh Allen-centric on the offensive side of the ball. So, okay, I think, great minds think alike. We're kind of leaning Tennessee, but we think long shot-wise, that New England Patriots thing makes a lot of sense. It does to me, at least. So, good. Anything else you want to add to that AFC number 1 seed conversation, Jay?
Yeah, I would just say on the Patriots as well that, some people are holding against them the fact that they don't have a ton of marquee wins over the absolute elites. But, a mark of a good team is not just beating other good teams, but it's eviscerating the bad teams.
Yeah.
The fact that the Patriots, they annihilated the Jets. Cleveland aren't a bad team, but they destroyed them as well. And the fact that they're able to rack up these wins, that bodes really well for them going forward. And then also, they've left wins on the table. The Dallas loss in overtime. They very easily could have won that. They're a field goal away from beating Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Right.
They really should have beaten Miami in week 1.
No doubt.
So they're not that far away from being 9-1. So I think this Patriots team is very, very solid and will be heard from.
Yeah, I agree with you there all the way. You're right. And I think, you could have a different result if they played the Cowboys or the Bucs right now, for all the reasons you just said. Jay, as usual, you are the freaking man, okay? It's always great having you, always great talking ball. Have a good rest of your week. We appreciate you and PointsBet. Peace out, buddy. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Chris. See you, man.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.